Hello, my name is Benjamin Sutton and I want to welcome you to my channel today. This is the fourth part in a series of about 5 or 6 we're going to go for at the moment, but we're not sure. We're just going to keep on going and see how far we get with it. So far we've looked at shot selection and how you take it down from something like 6.5 hours to what we got to about 45 minutes. We then looked at music choice and how we would go about choosing that particular music and where we would use and what platform we would use. I use Soundstripe. In future videos we'll be looking at different like Epidemic, Artist.io or the other. Looking at like Epidemic and other platforms that offer music downloads for YouTube videos. Then we looked at editing to music, how we got it to the beat. We've picked a song and how we've got it to the beat. So if we just have a quick look at what's going on here, let's find beginning. So what we're up to at the moment is we've got it to the music. We're quite happy with the way the clips are sitting, and the next stage is the transitions, any warp stabilization we're putting on, and then we're going to move on into color grading and LUTs, etc. in the next couple of videos. So what we're going to look at now is the transitions. So we're going to, let me just mute this for the time being. So what we're going to be looking at is what transitions we are looking for between the clips, or if we need any at all. That's something, don't throw everything at it. Don't just put a transition on every single clip. Sometimes you do not need it. You don't need glitch presets, you don't need swipe left, swipe right, you don't need none of that if it doesn't need it. It's only when it needs it, or if there's movement and something that's going to make it flow better. Okay, so let's have a quick look. So I'd probably say the first one we want is this one, where there's some movement in it. So how do we add a transition? So how do we add a transition to this? So the quickest and easiest way, if you're using like a smooth transition or any of the transitions that go over on adjustment layers, is click on your bins, file new, adjustment layer, make sure it's the right size of the project, and then I just drag an adjustment layer on, and then I use the shift and left arrow to go back, because that's 10 frames, and that's roughly how long we want it to be. And then I'll go 2 back, so that's 10 frames, and then 10 frames forward, and I shall cut there. And then I just move the adjustment layer out the way onto the next ones. So we're going to go to our smooth transitions and let's have a quick look. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a left to right slide on this. Just give that a second to buffer. Sometimes it takes a little while when it's rendering. So, because sometimes it works the opposite way. You want a right to left slide, not a left to right. That's better. So moving it the same way, the movement is working with it. And then basically you're going to go through and have a look to see where it needs it. It's like when people first used to get a video to video editor and they used to put star wipes and everything. Think Homer Simpson, and when he's telling Lisa what to put on, star wipe, it doesn't need it. Sometimes you can use fade to black, but there is other transitions. So I've got the smooth and the glitch preset, but you don't necessarily need them all. You've got your twirls and your solarizers and picture in picture and stuff like that, but I'm not really a big fan of using any of them personally. It's not really my thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to speed through this, and then I'm going to show you the completed. So I'll show you one quick more. So that's a static. So what we also need to do is, as we're going through these, we're going to look at putting warp stabilizer on. So we're going to do these first 5 videos and see how the warp stabilizer fits on it. Okay, so we'll go to video effects, distortion, warp stabilizer, and then all I do is just to see how they fit, to make it a bit more stable, pop it on them. And as you can hear, the IMAX running up now and getting ready to take off. We're going to carry on working our way through, and we'll come back so we know where we're up to. And let's kind of do one more. So what's Ev doing here? So Ev is, doesn't really need any. What's this one though? So what we're actually going to do on this one is we're going to do a little fade to black. So we're changing scenery. So control, right click, apply default transition. Now what we would do is if we pop it down on, so we control Z to undo, and then do it when they're next to each other. It'll do a crossover. Don't want that big though. There we go. Now if you did want fade to black, so if we take that off, and we go back up, it'll actually fade to black and then crossover. So there's 2 different ones you can actually obtain just by the position of the actual video together. So if we've got it like this, then what's going to happen is it's going to fade to black. If we drop it down and do the same thing, it won't fade to black. It'll actually cross fade over to you see this video as it crosses over, but we want the fade to black on this one. It's moving up to the left and then into we want the adjustment layer here. The adjustment layer. Bring it down. So I just add one adjustment layer just for however many required. Again, find the middle point, tap left twice. And there's the 10 frames. There is many ways to add adjustment layers and add effects. This is the way I prefer it because it removes it from the actual elements themselves, the actual videos themselves, and it puts it above it. Same as when you add LUTs and stuff like that, we'll discuss that in later videos. Let's cut that there. And I know that we're going to have one on this one because of the movements. We're going to just bring it straight over there. There you go. So I know what I'm having with this one already because it's going up, so we're going to have an upward slide because they're both both moving in a forward motion, so we're going to have a smooth transition. So on here is a top left to bottom right slide. Let's see how it's looking. So it's following the movement, that's what we want. So we're trying to keep the movement flowing. It's going up, there we go, and it keeps it moving. And then same with this one, going forward or up. Sometimes the rendering doesn't show it, and then it carries on. Because there's water involved in this one, I'm actually going to try to zoom in with this one. Let's have a quick look. Pixie! Shh! Give it a few seconds to render, and let's have a look. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly through these, going to do a little bit of a speed up, and then we'll export it and watch it at the end. So I've picked this one specifically because one of the reasons I use warp stabilization is because most of this was shot handheld, not shot on a Ronin S or a stabilizer. So we've picked this one because you can see how bad of a job the warp stabilizer's done. Now that's not a problem because I'm moving their camera a lot, she's moving. So when you look at stuff like that, that's not what you want. So for something like that, I would go over here into warp stabilization, I'd turn it off, and I'd see what it was like without it, because, like I said before, movement on some of them, it's fine, it doesn't matter. And she's moving, camera's moving, still looks pretty good. Whereas warp stabilization on that one has enabled it to stabilize, straighten up, and that's what we want. But going from smooth motion to no motion may be a better option if it works. Fortunately on that one, it didn't. So we'll put that back onto smooth motion. Just trying to do too much. So always check your clips. So we're looking for the red bits. So click on analyze. There we go. So it's going to re-analyze that clip. Let's have a quick watch. wobbled a little bit there towards the end. It's going to come on. I'm going to try and take down smoothness to 2 to 3%. See if it's still wobbling. It's just got that tiny bit of wobble there at the end. And you've got to assess whether or not it's affecting the viewingness of the actual clip itself, or whether it doesn't really matter. To be honest, it doesn't really matter. We've removed it from that one. Let's carry on. Still got that tiny bit of wobble there at the end. So it's made that movement that I did with the camera, again handheld, look a lot better, which is what we wanted. Let's see the transition, moves up, there we go. So as we're going through these clips, we can see the warp stabilization along with the transitions that we've created, we've added on, is actually making it more cinematic, more enjoyable to watch. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not for everyone. The transitions, the warp stabilization, it's not a catch-all, it's not a fix-all. We do not want to have bad imagery or bad filming techniques to then try and fix it in post. It's not the aim of the game. You want to try and do it in camera, but that does not mean that if you shoot things with handheld, you can't use warp stabilization afterwards. So that obviously did not work on warp stabilization. So again, she's moving, camera's moving, we're going to turn warp stabilization off. I'm going to see how it looks. It looks fine. Again, movement on the camera. It's an action camera. They go underwater. The camera follows them. At the end of the day, it's your choice inside your video of what you want to achieve. Most of the drone shots anyway are going to be stabilized, so we don't really have to worry about the stabilization of the drone shots. It's mainly just the transitions for that. So obviously that's moving forward, nice and stabilized. I want to keep it that way. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to see you in the next part. Give me a shout on any of the social medias. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments. Have a nice day.